A quern is a hand mill. It's got two stones in it, and it's got a place for a stick, and you actually turn it by hand, and you drop the grain into the eye of the stone, and it grinds the grain. So it's making whole grain. And generally, a quern was either owned by a village or maybe a family, and they use it to grind their grain to make their bread with. One of my favorite stories here, I had a lady from India come in one day, and she was dressed in a sari. She'd been to a wedding or something, and she had her grandchildren with her. So out on the porch, we've got a quern. So she walked out and she saw the quern, and I was standing there. So we had a stick there. She took the stick, put it in the quern, and started turning it and singing. So I waited till she got through singing. I asked her, I said, have you ever used one of these before? And she said, yes, when I was a little girl in India, this was my job, was to use the quern. And she said, I asked her how long did it take her to do this every day? And she said she did it all day. And it was interesting, she said the song that she was singing to her grandchildren was a song that she had made up when she was a little girl to occupy her time while she was doing the quern. So her grandkids got to see Grandma operate the quern, having no idea what Grandma was doing. And Grandma got to explain the quern to her grandchildren, who probably didn't understand how hard Grandma had to work when she was young. That was one of my favorite stories here. And usually, if I'm explaining the quern, I always tell that story because it's interesting. And I've had a lot of people from India in here that when I'm telling the story, they all smile because they know what I'm talking about.